Hey, welcome back. This is Unglamorous Truths with the Downtown Girls. I'm Crystal.
I'm Chandra.
I'm Amebit.
And welcome to the show. So, let's kick off today with a little fun question. We've all been working very hard, so my question to you is, if you could be on vacation any place in the world right now, where would it be? Yeah.
So many places.
I'm going with on the beach in Ghana. Just not even on this continent.
That's funny. I'm going to Zanzibar.
I'll see you.
I'll be on the other side, but we'll meet. No.
I mean, vacation, like, I probably want to go back to Hobosh. But I need to go to London. That needs to happen. COVID really fucked up our
I know.
London
We were supposed to go to London so many times.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And it has to happen.
Yeah, we need to get... And now I'm not pregnant, too, so it's even better because I need to hit a pub. I can't be in London sobering.
Well, you know, summer 2023. I'll strap the babies. You got one, I got one.
We taking these bitches to the bar.
Well, envision yourself there today as you're stressed or not. But yeah, I want to kick us off with a little personal story. So, I've officially been in LA now for 5 years and some change. And when I first moved to LA, I moved for the dream. And we got our first big Warner check. So that was waiting and coming in the mail at my new address. I moved and you all were neighbors. Like literally I used to walk to your house to walk your dog. And we all could literally just pop up really quickly on each other. It was a beautiful time. Life was sweet. And if I'm being honest with that check, I got a little splurgy. Like I was a little cart before the horse with my new life in LA, and I'm always very grounded with money, but like I had a moment where I was like, feel yourself, girl. I had broken up with someone after 6 or 7 years of being together in my 20s, so I was just like, new Crystal, new LA, let's take it on. And my money went a little funny, but that leads me to, so today's episode is Hood Rich. So my question to y'all is, what's some nigga shit that you bought with your first big check? Was there anything? Can you remember?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty classic. I got a grill, got a lot of gold and diamond rings. Yeah, it was pretty traditional.
I did buy a grill myself, but I think I was very conservative. I was very African about it. Like, I didn't deposit those checks. I let them, like, gather.
Wow.
Because I was afraid that if I actually deposited them, that I would spend it.
What a skill.
It was also just foolish. Like, what if someone broke into my home and took these checks? Yeah, like, so I had them sitting on my printer. I deposited all the checks at one time.
Oh, that was a lot of money.
So you ain't buy nothing fun?
That first check? No, the second show, I bought a car.
Okay.
I didn't even quit my job. I was still working my side job.
I would say what I did to splurge on that first Warner check was, outside of moving to LA, in that year, I threw myself a Mace-themed all-white birthday party for my 30th. And I rented this spot in Malibu. And everybody came in their characters, or, there was some great people in attendance. Mary J, we had some classics in the building.
In costume,
yes. Well, no, obviously.
Mary,
it was a scene. Mary was not in the building. But yeah, like I did it up, and I treated myself. Yeah, bottles, hookah, like it was a vibe, and it was one of my favorite moments I've ever had in my life. But I did spend some money on it, and and then quickly had to learn in the next year. Mind you, part of this was also under the impression that our Downtown Girls show would be going to series within a year. Like I was like, oh yeah, we're writing the pilot right now, it's gonna go, and so the reality check of, oh, things don't go all the time to series. So what next, Crystal? What was being rich to y'all growing up? Like, so what were the things that came to your mind as a kid about this is what being rich is?
I mean, MTV Cribs. So really any of that home, any of those homes, definitely having more bathrooms than you had bedrooms was a sign of wealth to me. I don't know why, but I'm like, when people got a lot of bathrooms, they got money,
Right.
cars, just shit that people sell you. I grew up on hip hop, so what rappers told me was rich.
Yeah. But I didn't as a child. I didn't really know what dollar amount bought those things.
No,
I just thought like, oh yeah, you got $100,000. You can have more bathrooms than rooms. Like,
right, $100,000 is enough. Certainly,
I thought $100,000 was like extremely wealthy. Excuse me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Six figures? My parents don't see that.
No, for sure. I mean, I remember, wanting to get a job when I was 14, and I was like, damn, if I could just make like $100 a week, like I'm about to be cleaning the fuck up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, I'm about to be getting food, from McDonald's whenever I want. Like, yeah.
I had a moment where, to this day, the inner child in me still feels this way. Being hood rich meant you had the fullest pantry. Like, you had toilet paper for days, you had paper towels, you had food in the cabinets. Like, it was just stocked to the brim. I lived with my father for a time, and he went toilet paper roll to toilet paper roll, so we literally just had maybe two in a house of 3 people. And so obviously that man was scrambling for toilet paper every week, but it was like, oh, one day I will open up my cabinet and it'll be just full. And that's what rich people do. Yes,
because at least to me, like, rich is subjective.
Right.
It's very subjective.
Yes.
If you live below your means and you are able to thrive, who's to say that you're not rich? Now, wealth is very objective. Wealth? It's very different.
It's a number that they put in Forbes.
Yes. It's a level of security that rich does not have.
Well, see, and to me now that that is how I think about money, is about security. And like as a kid, you don't think about that. You think about assets, because that is the representation of wealth is through assets. And you're not thinking about non-flashy assets, stocks and shit. That's not what the fuck is that? It's not an asset. What kind of shoes do you have?
Totally. And it's so funny that you bring that up, because I think that what you aspire to in terms of being rich or even being wealthy, you can talk about either one, can say a lot about you. Like, even I was just listening to Watch the Throne the other day, and I was like, yo, Jay-Z, at least during this period in his life, was very Eurocentric aspirational. Like, he's always talking about Rothkos and Rilkes and all these like European paintings on the wall, and you can tell that that's his idea of what wealthy is like when you do this, this, and this. And unsubscribing from that, like, I'm not really into the Eurocentric standard for myself. For me, I feel like aspiring to rich or wealthy, whatever the two is, means that I can own my time. I can do what I want when I want. And it also does mean assets. I would love to own in Ghana, so that when any of us feel fatigued or when the Civil War breaks out, we have a place to go. What about y'all?
Yeah, freedom. Freedom. I don't have to do anything.
Yep.
What I do is from a place of pure joy and desire. Like, I want to do it.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're all aligned. For me, it's like I only have to work if I want to. Yeah, I think freedom is the perfect word for it.
Freedom.
My time is my time.
Absolutely.
I own that.
Own your time. Yeah.
Fresh out of college, like, what amount did we think, like, oh my God, I make this much? Like, wow. Like, for me, it was like when I made $50K as a waiter, I was like, wow, like, that's like a G a week. That's incredible. That is making it.
Yeah, I remember fresh out, like, I had got offered a real job, a full-time job at the place that we had interned, and it was going to make like $54,000 a year. It was going to have benefits. And I was like, shit, I mean, I would kind of be living. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, no, I got to pursue this dream, bro. If I get up in here and I start working in a real job, I don't know. I can't play with that. No,
Yeah.
I
And that's why I left that job. The one that paid me $50K, the banquet serving job.
Park
I
Hotel.
left it because I was like, oh, nah, this is too good.
Right. When that money's too
It's
good,
too
you got to cut that
secure.
shit off. That's so unhealthy. It's such unhealthy thinking.
It was so
but
toxic. I was so
true.
attached to the struggle. I really was. I was like, oh no,
There's benefits in the struggle, because it does keep you closer to what you're doing, I think, a little bit. But you also need to be a little clever with your quarters.
Was there ever a moment where y'all felt in that moment, whether it was true or not, that you were rich financially? Like, you're like, oh, I feel like I'm in a resting place. I'm feeling good about where I'm at.
It's really tough to answer that question in the way that I think you're asking it, because I qualify, or rather quantify, richness in so many different aspects of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am rich. Mm-hmm. I am rich in love. Like, I am rich. Yes, in so much. So like, I never identified as poor in anything. Even growing up, like, we didn't have any, like, technically we were on food stamps. Like, I have those memories, but like, I never felt poor. Like, all my needs were met. So like, who am I to say that was poor? Like, we were so rich. We had so much love. We had so much security.
Even as a kid, you felt that way?
I had love and security. Yeah, I never felt without.
Of course that. But you didn't feel poor?
Poor? No, I mean, I lived in the hood. We all were kind of the same.
You was my mom's dream, boy. Because she be tearing my ass up. And even she was like, you think you was poor? You wasn't poor, da-da-da-da. And I'm
if
like,
I didn't get something, it wasn't because I thought they couldn't afford it. It was because it didn't align with their values of why would I spend $100 on a pair of sneakers because it has a check mark on it. They're like, no, we're going to take your ass to this Payless. Yeah. Because it makes the most sense. I never thought it was because they couldn't afford it. And to this day, I don't think, clearly they couldn't afford it, but also it also did not align with their values.
And now it's funny because I totally agree with my mom, because she used to always say, why are you going to pay to walk around and advertise for somebody else? What you going to put their name on you for? They didn't give you anything for that.
Right.
They gave you nothing. You paid them to do that. And at the time I was like, Mom,
you don't get it.
Buy the Jordans, ma'am. Just buy the Jordans.
Save the lecture.
Right. And I never got the Jordans. I had to get a job and buy my own first pair of Jordans at 16. Now I totally get it. I'm like, you're right, Mom. Why am I advertising for these people? What, they do nothing for me?
Yeah, I feel like my parents showed me their priorities with how they spent their money, and usually they were in ways where I felt like they were investing in me. So that really mattered. Like, yes, you're not gonna get none of this shit that you want. We going to Ames. And we going to goddamn did y'all have Ames where y'all was from?
I think Ames? That might be local.
Okay, Ames is a DC, Maryland store. It's if you know, you know.
Like clothing?
Yes.
Yeah, like Rainbow.
Pretty much, or worse. But they would be like, you know what? I'm gonna pay for you to be a part of this club or that program, or you can go on this trip. Or, my mom would always say to me, don't worry about a job right now. School is your job. She was like, we'll figure it out to get you to college. Like, we're gonna always figure it out. So like, free yourself up from stressing too much right now. Your only job is school. Now, would I have gotten a job if she hadn't always been saying that to me? Probably, and I probably would have had cooler, flyer shit. But at the time, I do appreciate what they instilled in me with that, because I did see how their priorities were really pouring into me, and I saw the benefits of that. And I was like, oh, I'm growing because of what y'all are deciding to put in me. I don't love all your decisions, but I can't hate on that.
To think to your original question, so I don't feel rich today. I don't feel wealthy. But I will say that after I filmed the first season of Southside, I felt a breath. That was the first time that I felt a breath financially. Because to be honest, I had put myself in debt for this dream twice. And kind of in a predatory way. I had a credit card. It had originally a limit of $2,300. That's where it should have stayed. And then without me even asking, all of a sudden they increased my limit to $23,000. I was a 22-year-old woman.
Oh,
with this amount,
holy shit,
at my disposal. And when I moved out to LA, like I didn't have a job. I was trying to get a job. I failed the drug test because I had been smoking weed. That day that they sent me to take the drug test, I didn't know I was going to have to take one to work in a restaurant, America. And so I did not get a job, and I did not, you know, I had to get a car, like I had to get all this shit. And so I was just living off of my credit cards, and I was so heavily in debt. I was so fucking stressed, and you know, it was just wild. And then that happened to me a second time in pursuit of my dreams out here in Los Angeles. So I had essentially fought my way to $50,000 in debt. Which is why I'm very, very frugal these days, because I never want that feeling again. And it was such a point of shame for me that I really was not telling anybody that I was in debt. Like, I recently just even, you know, disclosed this to my mom. She was like, "You never said anything." And I was like, because it was my failure to hold. And now I'm like, oh my God, if I said something, anybody would have told me that, girl, you could have called that company, you could have negotiated that debt down, because everything is negotiable. Okay, you could have called them and been like, "This is the lump sum I have, I can't pay you that full amount." But I did not know that at the time, and I did not want to tell anybody because I was so fucking embarrassed.
Right.
So when after that first season of Southside, just paying off all of my debts, paying off like loans, and I didn't have like a bunch of, you know, money left over after, because I had so in debt, I had so much to pay off. But and I wouldn't even let, you know, my husband, I wouldn't even let him involve in these debts that this is my shit. I brought this, you know. I felt great. I felt so fucking accomplished.
Yes.
Like, and I did just breathe, you know. I'm like, well, girl, you can't be balling out. You can't be living crazy. But guess what? Ain't nobody finna be calling you, bothering you.
What a blessing. Yeah, I think
I am in a state of shock. Like, if you're listening to this and not watching the video, like, my face, wow. I have so many follow-up questions for after this.
I really couldn't. What? I really couldn't have y'all know I was down bad like this.
Girl, we all go through
you
it.
Said 50?
Yes,
50?
Yes, ma'am. Fought my way out, and the first time did that shit without any type of TV show. You know what I'm saying? Like, did that shit working those serving jobs, nannying, like not spending on shit. Like,
yeah,
you know, oh, Chandra's not out because she's antisocial. I'm antisocial, but also I'm not going nowhere because I don't want to spend a fucking dollar.
Fair.
Like, but I don't want to tell anybody that that's why I'm not going out. So I'm like, oh no, I just don't want to go. But like, no, I don't want to spend anything. I don't have any money. I'm fucking impoverished.
And maybe it's like all the wheels are turning now. Like,
you know, person, right. You know, I'm a prideful individual.
Absolutely. Well, to be continued. So that leads me to the question. I do feel like, as Black people, and specifically maybe more African American, because maybe you're right, African is not the same as African American. I feel like there are certain complexes in this country due to a lack of financial literacy that happen where we can end up in traps, especially as African Americans and as Black people. So what is that complex about? Like, why is it that we spend it before we have it? Now, I have some thoughts and many ideas. I mean, let's talk about lack of generational wealth. Like, I would say more than any other community, there is not much being passed down from our parents financially, right? And it's no fault of our own. It's systemic in this country specifically, where we are owed debts that we've never been repaid. And so we remain in debt because we are not paid for what we've done for this country. So as a result, there's just all types of targeted, very traps that you can fall into, the way we're marketed to, the way that every other ethnicity in the world knows that African Americans are the consumer group, and you can run it up with them because they're going to be the first to buy, and they're going to, like your mom said, share your shit and brand your shit for free. That's a complex. That's a real issue. Like, I have some, you know, my boyfriend has a lot of people he knows in New York. He said in New York in particular, the peer pressure for brand names is vicious. Obviously, that's just a hood thing, period. But in New York, they will literally like clown you, beat your ass if you don't show up with like the new shit. Like, they make fun of you, gang style.
I think in any hood, you can't be in Bobos. Like,
right.
You're just gonna get.
It's just, but it's so outpriced with the complex, because it's like you're gonna get teased mercilessly. It's so vicious, and yet it's putting you in a hole in debt, and you're chasing priorities that you can't pay for. Why do we do this to ourselves?
I mean, it ain't good. Sometimes I think it's about, like, I don't really have no science behind this, but sometimes I think it's like when everything else is just making you feel so bad, you know, something about putting on something fresh and luxurious just makes you feel good. And it feels like something you can have control over, because I feel like when you're poor in this, I can't speak to other countries. I can only speak to the one I was born and raised in, but being poor in America is so hurtful. You feel so forgotten about. You know, it's one of the hardest things in the world. It's hard to feel good, man. It's like, and you feel like you have no control. Yeah. Because so many things are happening to you, because like you said, it's systemic. So there's so many things that you don't even always understand, but and that you don't have any power or control in, that are keeping you in the circumstance that
like
you're
they
in.
say, it's expensive to be poor.
Boy, ain't it. Boy, ain't it. So sometimes shit, putting on them J's, this I can control. Feel good as I step out, everyone stare at me. I'm that nigga, you know?
Real.
I'm like sitting here processing, and like it has just illuminated to me just a different perspective. Like, I always looked at that behavior pattern as so brave, being someone who has battled like scarcity mindset. And so I kind of had the opposite experience, but I think kind of funneled with the same intentions of sorts. Like, I held money so tight. Like, I never spent money. Like, I lived below my means. I took out a $10,000 loan before graduating NYU and said, I will never have less than this. My zero is this $10,000. If I get to this 10,000, like, I'm not doing shit. Like, this is my brand new zero. Yeah. And that is how I operated. But it built this like fist clenching fear around money, that like it wasn't going to come back. You know, so there's you know, pros and cons to both experiences. Like, yeah, like, okay, sure, I've always had a $10,000 threshold, but I had this like wild fear that I would never make it back, and it was kind of something that I saw in other people. Like, wow, you're so brave. You really know, the way that you're moving is like, you know, it's coming back, and it do come back.
Yeah, that is how I feel about money.
It's gonna come back to you.
Yeah, me too. I've been moving free.
It's like a boomerang.
Yeah,
and like I had to unlearn that of like, bitch, you need to let go, because it's not going to come through a closed fist.
And I feel like it's so unique for each person, because for me, I don't think I had scarcity mode in terms of but you can also have a weird mix of everything.
Spectrum.
Because I could, you know, y'all know I was very tight with my money and and very particular about it, right? But then I would allow myself to do it was almost like I had spaces where I felt like this is safe to be abundant. I will take a trip. Like, I will do this and that, but I'm not going to buy all the nicest clothes or brand name clothes, or go out and spend all this money on bottles or whatever, right? Like, especially during that time in my life, in my early 20s, whatever. I didn't see how I was going to make it. You know, I didn't have any lessons or models from my family, first of all, with clear communication of, it's okay, this is how you make income, so that you don't have to be afraid about this. But also, I hadn't been modeled like financial support from family. Like, you know, I learned when we went in together on our Apple plan, I was like, oh, this feels so good. I never had a single parent be like, I'll help you out, get on my plan. Like, they just sent me to New York. It was like, good luck. Like, I wasn't on anything, and I wasn't getting a dime. So, like, I had to truly grow up at 17 in New York. Like, all right, let me get 2 jobs and figure this out.
I know why you was always changing your phone numbers. Crystal have
I didn't have a family plan.
Why change his goddamn phone number?
I didn't have a group to be a part of.
Like a killer.
I had yes.
Who the fuck is she running from?
No, I was just going to different deals. Like, what can I pay for right now? So for me, I had so much to learn about how support can bleed into trust with finances. Because when you do things with group economics, Kwanzaa, then you have more safety net, right? You're not just out here on your own. So anyway, I say all of that to say, let's circle it back to the industry and money. How do you create that feeling of safety and consistency for yourself in a business that is so irregular and so inconsistent with money?
So I treat every check, like, it's going to have to last me for a little bit. Like, I don't look at a month and be like, oh, yeah, I just got a 20K check. Oh, we out here. And it's like, no, but you may not get the same check next month. So, like, I have to do projections for the year. I look big picture, and I look at everything that's on my slate and everything that is guaranteed income and everything that's potential income, and I do an estimate from there.
Lessons.
And that's how I manage my money, because I'm like, I cannot go broke. Like, that is my greatest fear. Like, I cannot go broke.
Oh my God. I remember it. You know what? When we did our charts, and we learned which horoscopes were in the house for business and money, you were in Capricorn. And sorry, for those who don't know, that sign in business and money, it is the biggest trigger for them if they don't have it, or if they feel like the stress of it being under certain things. Like, they literally don't feel safe or good.
Yeah, no.
And you are Capricorn moon, and I think you move the same way. And this is where I get in trouble. I'm a Sagittarius in that house, which is, woo! Let's go play.
Flashy.
Let's go travel.
If I get married, the only demise of my marriage would be money. I can work through a lot of shit.
There's many marriages.
No, yeah, but like, I can work through a lot. I'm a very collaborative person. I love hard. But if you stupid with money, bro, we out. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, that would be stressful. That would be so fucking stressful.
Yeah.
But if your partner is obedient and understands that's the area they need to acquiesce to you, and they follow the lead, then you could be fine. You could be dumb in that, because I'm gonna take over it. But I think for me, just in terms of this industry, because it is tricky, right? Because you could work, and then that's over, and then you may never work again.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Or it could be a year, whatever. So the biggest thing for me, there's two things. Number one, I live very, very far below my means. And you know what? I'm realizing I like it better, because I feel like when I was just buying shit because I could afford it, I didn't even really care about the shit. I didn't have any relationship to it. I wasn't just getting things I loved. I was just getting things because I had been poor for so long, in my adulthood, struggling for so long. I just like, well, now I'm not. And I want to see what this feels like. And I was like, well, I do better with less things that I just really, really, really adore. Like, that is living good for me. So I'm there. But also, for me, it's about my monthly commitment. So, like, that mortgage, when that money's coming in, paying more, every month, paying weekly so I can pay less on that interest. But also just like getting my monthly, I love the phrase monthly nut. I love that. You know that? You never heard that?
Monthly nut.
Yeah, like about how much you have to, pay monthly nut. Just getting that shit as low as possible. So it's like, the way I think of it is dark, but it's true. Could I pay this working as a waitress? And that is how I approach it. Like, could I pay this? You know what I'm saying? And like, obviously, like I have
that's
a
how
partner,
you justify
so
a purchase.
Justify a no, that's more how I justify just like my overall monthly, expenses. Okay. So I guess that is purchase, right? Like you adding things or whatever, like adding a monthly thing, subscriptions. But like literally, when Southside was not renewed, I went and did a cleanse.
Absolutely.
I went on a pure financial cleanse. Went through a bunch of shit, subscriptions, bye. Gotta go. How much am I using you? Bye. Like everything. Did a full reassessment.
She's like, it's not 3 times. No,
exactly. And I do think that's why I'm like that. Because I will never go through that again. Yeah, I will never. Like that shit was horrifying. Yeah. So I'm not playing with that. If I don't have a current job, hey, shit got to cut back.
Absolutely.
All your little fancy dinners. Fuck that. You better go to the grocery store. Be in the crib.
We got food at home.
I don't feel like cooking. I'm going to make the right. We got food at home.
I've been saying that a lot lately.
The gag is I don't.
Okay.
I got food at home.
I got food at home.
I do not grocery shop. I hate it.
Well, we're going to transition to Bootleg Fabulous, a segment where we give you life hacks. to help you out in your journey. So today's we'll focus on life hacks financially for working in the business, and in particular, anything where, since we do run our own businesses, we are each, our own CEOs. If there's anything in particular that has been really helpful for you. So I'll start. I will say that with the team, obviously the first priority is the person that is helping me make more money and fighting for my money. So the lawyer. Once you get to become,
we love our lawyer.
We love our lawyer. What's up, Barry? Once you get to a point where you are getting potentially very big offers and you can negotiate, that lawyer is crucial. And I pray for anyone who really wants to get into the development game, get yourself a lawyer once things are really about to align for you. Because if you try to figure that out on your own or with your agents, it's not the same. You need a shark. We were lucky to find someone really fantastic, and I think it served us very well.
I think in terms of hacks, and this is like really specific though, it's like if you get that lump sum thing, like you book something, you get that lump sum. I think it's really important to invest, and that's something that I wish I had done earlier, right? Like I always had an interest in real estate. I always wanted to do something there, but when I did first get my money, I was in such a scarcity state because I had been so fucked up before, and I had the vision. I was picking the right neighborhoods to buy in. I was picking the right kind of properties, but I would not, because I was like, I cannot spend this money, and I don't know if this is going to go belly up. But that is really one of my greatest regrets in life, that I did not buy property immediately with that lump sum check, because now it would be worth so much, and I would have been, making money. So I would say if there are opportunities for you to invest in something that's like smart, and real estate, everybody always gonna need a place to live, right? Something you understand, not like how I foolishly tried to invest in some crypto things. I did not understand what the fuck I was doing. Where is my money? But
truly shit.
Right. Where is my money?
Deleted it from my memory.
I know. But I told you I did a full financial assessment, so I had to sit with that. So I think definitely invest in that. And one thing I would say is, don't forget to invest in yourself, right? Because you are your own business. You are your own CEO. So you do need to, you gotta bet on yourself, bro. If you believe in yourself, you gotta double down sometimes. And this is probably not the best financial advice, but like, I think sometimes I do this when I feel like shit is the scariest for me. I'm like, fuck it, I gotta double down and bet on me right now. So I pour into myself. What things do I need to move into another level? But yeah, those are probably my hacks. You gotta invest.
Yeah, and even along the lines of investing, like if you're the type of person that it's hard for you to save, like auto have that shit on auto. What is it?
Withdrawals.
Auto withdrawal, like to your investment account, so that you don't even get to see that money. Like you are operating on income that is after everything is taken out of your account. Yeah. After you've invested, and you're like, okay, cool. Now this is my balance. I'm not thinking about how much I'm getting paid from these people. I'm thinking about how much is getting deposited into my account after it's already direct deposited. Also, I think a really good hack is, if you're a person that also can't control your spending and likes a lot of lavish things, prioritize. Really figure out what is the most important to you and budget for that one. Like for me, it's travel. Travel is the space where there is no budget. I will spend the money on having a good trip, because I don't believe in, being cheap in somebody else's fucking country. Like, what? So then that means, like, okay, well, where can we cut costs here? Like, when it comes to dining out, when it comes to shopping, where can we be more mindful, so that when it comes for these trips, I have some money to spend.
Love that. Nice. Well, those were wonderful tips. Thank you. I hope you took something from that.
If we're like dead broken, like you're gonna be like, don't listen to nothing.
It's fine. I am no expert.
Take it or leave it. We are not financial advisors, but that is what has gotten us through.
We maintaining right now.
We maintained it.
Yeah.
So with that, we are going to wrap up today's episode. Thank you so much. We are Unglamorous Truths with the Downtown Girls. You can follow us on social, on all platforms at Unglamorous Truths. And you can follow me. My name's Crystal at _Chris.
I'm Chandra. You can follow me at Chani.
I'm Amebit. You can follow me at Amebit Bayene.
Go live a rich life.